Welcome lads and lads, welcome back to the KingMagna channel. I know it's been a couple of days, it's my return from 2 days break. It was my birthday, so I thought I'd take a few days off. It's kind of fitting I got this for my birthday actually, because, you know, today we're going to be reviewing Mortal Kombat 1. This game has been out for a few weeks now, and I feel like I've done enough of the game to warrant a review. I've got every ending, you know, I've got all the character towers done, I've done plenty of invasion, you know, entire campaign, I've done everything that you can do really. And, you know, I've done all the online stuff. I've dipped my toe in every single part of Mortal Kombat 1, okay? I think I can warrant doing a review. Okay, I've done enough of it. Trust me, I'm an expert. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this, the story and the campaign. The story of the game is that Liu Kang is basically now God. God Liu Kang, literally. And we are now in his timeline, the one that he created after he won the Hourglass. If this all sounds weird, it's from Mortal Kombat 11. Like, the stories of the Mortal Kombat just get worse and worse. They get wackier every single game. And yeah, the entire plot is basically just we're in Liu Kang's new timeline and we're discovering all the characters. You know, a bunch of characters have returned from old Mortal Kombat games, like really old ones like Deception, Armageddon. And yeah, let's get straight into the characters. The characters to me are, in Mortal Kombat, the most important part. You know, it goes right next to the gore. It's like part of it. You have to have good characters and you have to have lots of gore. That's basically what Mortal Kombat needs. And in this game, it has plenty of great characters. So, for example, Kenshi's back, who's my main. I've been loving Kenshi. Liu Kang in this game is absolutely brilliant. Johnny Cage in this game is brilliant. General Shao, they've changed everyone, but they've made them all perfect. Even the ninjas, you know, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Smoke, Reptile, they're all sick in this game. However, there are a few characters in this game that I would say are pretty lackluster. The three that come to my mind are Ashura, Nintara, I think that's how you pronounce it, and Reiko. These are all characters from really old Mortal Kombat games, and they've brought them back as like a big, this is the new timeline, we've got all these characters back. But these characters to me are just so dull. You know, Ashura is probably the best out of all of them. She's not actually that bad, but I just found her a bit boring. They don't really go too much into her story, which is like the most important part of her. She's like an interesting character, but they just don't show it. I'd say the worst two are definitely Reiko and Nintara. Nintara especially, who in this one is actually voiced and modelled after Megan Fox, which is absolutely hilarious, because if you see her voice lines, I'm going to play a voice line now, it's just not good.
That blade's enchanted. We can't help what we are. That we feed on blood doesn't make us evil.
And Reiko to me is on the same boat. He's not as bad, I'd say, but he is still pretty bland in the game. He's basically just General Shao's minion. They just did not do him justice. He was such a sick character in the old games, but he's really bland in this. He's like unseasoned chicken as a character. This dude needs some salt and pepper. And overall, the gameplay in this game is just good. You know, it feels smooth when you fight. Everything seems good. I'd say the fatal blows are alright. I wasn't a huge fan of fatal blows before because it kind of rewards people for not doing well. And overall, the gameplay is just good. The characters' designs in this game are really good. They're not as good as Mortal Kombat 11's. And I want to talk more about the difference between Mortal Kombat 1 and 11 in a bit. But I do think the designs in 11 were a lot better than this game. You know, not saying that this one's bad. You know, Mortal Kombat 11 are basically the perfect designs, okay? They perfected it. They had perfected the designs in this characters, okay? Do not compare them. And generally, one of the things I want to say about this game is there's a lot of innovation for the sake of innovation. Like, one thing I want to talk about is the removal of a lot of the things in the game. Some of the greatest parts of the game were just taken out. Like, from Mortal Kombat 11, you had the Crypt, the Towers of Time, AI battles, you know, just all these great things just gone. Basically no reason. Now, I'm not sure if these were actually on the base game of Mortal Kombat 11 or if they were added later on. I actually just don't know. But one thing I can tell you is the game without them just feels very barren. And I'm well aware this is not the final state of the game. They have to add some more stuff, because right now there's very few game modes. For offline, you have the campaign, invasion, and towers, with the towers not really having a lot. There are very few towers, and you know, all the variation they have are just not good. And with the different game modes on, like, you know, the entire game, with just the online, and with the online, you really don't have a lot as well. Like, all you basically have is ranked, versus, and King of the Hill, which King of the Hill, if you played it, is terrible. It's just not a good game mode. I've never enjoyed King of the Hill. And that's just all you have, really. You just have very few game modes to play. Like, Mortal Kombat 11, you had Towers of Time. The campaign was a lot longer in this game, but I would say the DLC with the Mortal Kombat 11 campaign was like a lot better. Also, another thing I want to talk about is the combos in this game. They aren't the greatest. There are plenty of combos that you can do that still work brilliantly. A good character I'd say for combos is definitely General Shao. You know, you can do loads of combos, but the game has a thing where I don't know what the actual name for it is. It's in a lot of fighting games where, like, the more the combo goes on, the weaker it goes. And I'm generally well aware this isn't every fighting game now. Every fighting game has this when it has combos, but the problem with it in this game is that they've put it to the extreme. So basically after one hit, anything else after is just like smacking them with a little bit of cloth. It's not doing anything. It's like smacking them across the face with a glove and just saying good day, sir. It's useless. It does nothing, which sucks because it means when you do a long combo, it just does nothing. I saw one the other day when someone got a 100 hit combo and they didn't even do half the health. Like, that's how much the combos are getting weakened now, which is like a real big issue in a game where combos are like the way to win. That's what the pros do, and now the pros are being like shut down so everyone can play. I don't know, it's really bizarre to me, but I'm sure that'll get patched at some point because it's just like such a bad thing to have. And I want to retouch on something I mentioned earlier. This game does have a lot of innovation for the sake of innovation. Like, you know, all the game modes, you know, they were terrific, they're gone now. And one thing I do want to say as well is the characters, like customizations. Now you only get one gear item, where in Mortal Kombat 11 you had 3, and now the costumes are just like, what do they call them, like skin swaps. It just changes the colour a little bit. That's all the costumes are now. Also, unlocking fatalities in this game is an absolute nightmare. They've added a mastery path in this game, which makes it a lot harder to level up. Now, in my opinion, the fastest way to level up in this game is probably Invasion. I'm now level like 41, I believe, after playing this game for about a week and a half, I think. I didn't play it much because of my birthday, but with playing this, Invasion was definitely the fastest way of doing it. Towers don't really give you a lot at all. Like, from just towers, I probably got to level 20, but it's a lot easier to level up, obviously, when you're a lower level. And just regular versus battles, like just AI, like against the AI, just one battle, you get nothing anymore. It's basically not worth doing it at all. Unless you're like 1v1 your friend for some fun, it's just not worth doing. But with all that said, this is a really good game. I don't want everyone to think that I've been pooing on this game, thinking it's terrible, thinking it's not a fun game. I've had a great time playing it. Like, the Invasion, from what I've played, is really fun. It's very, very similar to Smash Bros.' World of Light. In fact, I'd probably say it was very heavily inspired by that. You know, you get characters going across the map, and they just reskin the characters to be someone. It literally is World of Light, actually, think about it. Now I'm talking about it to myself, it literally is just World of Light. And like usual, from all NetherRealm games, the cinematics in this game are just brilliant. Like, the entire campaign for me was probably about 8 hours. I played it all on video on channel. For 8 hours, that's a bit of a stretch. Probably about 6 hours, okay? And the endings as well in this game are great. There's a lot more, like, detail into the characters and the lore of it, which is always interesting. I like it when they get really deep into the story of every character, you know, all the arcs, everything. So as a whole, on the King's Catalogue, I'm deciding to give this game an 8.5. Personally, I enjoyed Mortal Kombat 11 more than this game, but this game is in a really early state. We've not even got the DLC characters yet. We get to see Omni-Man, Peacemaker, and the Homelander in it. This is a really early review, and I'm sure when these DLC characters are added, it'll be a lot higher. It'll probably go to a 9, 9.5, because the DLC characters in Mortal Kombat definitely make it. Like, in Mortal Kombat 11, you had Joker, you had, you know, name. You had Spawn, Terminator, Rambo. All these characters were probably my favourite characters, and they were all DLC. And we just gotta wait. We just basically gotta wait to see what the best characters are to come out. Anyway, that's it for me today. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in another video.